Hi everybody, so in this video we're going to cover what the differences are between the restoration types and the screws that you're going to use when you're using ScanLadder and designing something to fit direct to multi-unit. Or not, if you're using a different system. If you're using whatever implant system you're using, can you use it? Those are the questions we're going to answer in today's video. So the first question, is ScanLadder open? Can you use it with any system and any screw? Because doesn't it include a Rosen screw or a Vortex screw? And the question is, that doesn't really matter. Those are the different screws that are within the ScanLadder specific to fit to the platform that you're using. So if you're using, like the other videos we talked about, a 1.4 or 1.6 or 1.72, then there is a ScanLadder system for that specific connection. Now, with that in mind, then we have to understand what the purposes of those screws are. So why do we have a Rosen screw or Vortex screw? And the idea of it being replaceable, it's a really important one, because when you're designing something for a full arch case, one of the things that can fail in some of the other all-on-X solutions really easily, and I know because I've tested a lot of them, one of the problems is the fact that the screws themselves can wear. And if that screw wears, then the thread as it's fitting into the multi-unit can get looser and looser, and so the scan body gets looser. Now, there's already a bit of a predisposition of any horizontal scan body to rotate if you're not careful, if you hit it hard enough, if you want to compress everything in the right place. So you need that friction and you need that tight fit to be able to have those tightly screwed down, with obviously the caveat being you need to make sure it's sitting passively first. But those screws need to sit down, importantly, in a passive way and screw down tightly. If that thread wears and you can't replace that screw, then that scan body, whether it's for photogrammetry, whether it's intraoral photogrammetry, it's knackered, it's done. Throw it away, and then more than likely to get a new one, you have to buy a whole new kit, which in some cases can cost you thousands. So with that in mind, the idea, if we're using different screws, those screws need to be able to be replaced so that you as a user can then replace them if that screw loosens, so that you can get that fresh, really tight torque when you're tightening it down. Now, with that in mind, then we have to think about whether we are really strictly using just that screw. And the answer is no. We made those screws replaceable simply for the fact that torque, but also so that some people who want to use Rosen or want to use Vortex can replace them in their temporary prosthesis, like a PMMA or a 3D printed try-in, to be able to use within that prosthesis and then replace the screws, so that every single case within the scan bodies and the prosthesis, you're using fresh screws. So it's a really important part of that ecosystem to be able to replace those screws, so we keep things tight every time. And the third part, the thing we alluded to at the beginning, does it matter whether you use different screws, or do you have to strictly use what it comes with? And the answer again is no, because the library, and if we go to the website, when we're on the website, we can see this. So let's go on here. So on the website, if we go to CAD library, then there's a video showing how you install it, but then information about the different library options. And this is a really important point to grasp. Something which I really hope comes through from this video is it is ultimately open like no other system that's really on the market. Why? Because you're not constrained to any one manufacturer. You can use whatever you want. There is the main ScanLadder library, which comes up in Exocad or 3Shape as ScanLadder, in which case there are a variety of different direct to multi-unit screws like Rosen, like Vortex, Powerball, Badger, you name it, a few different ones, IPD. And there's also some options for tie bases, locators, that sort of thing. So with the ScanLadder main library, you can use whatever system you want that's within that library. But if you want to add something else, you can send us an email and we can add it into it. That's not a problem. But to be open, you need to be able to use manufacturer components. You might not want to do direct to multi-unit. You might want to use tie bases. Your lab, or if you are a lab using this, You might want to use a certain manufacturer's specific components to be able to go direct to the multi-unit or otherwise. So it's important to have that ability, and the beautiful thing with ScanLadder is we have that ability directly in the libraries available. So whatever brand you use, and if we go down on the website, you can see this, go down and then you see library links, then we click on either Exocad, 3Shape here. If we go on Exocad, it takes you through to our library Google Drive. And if we go on here, you can see if we click on Exocad, let's say the 1.4 libraries, then we've got the direct to multi-unit screws, the simple library we've already talked about, and then you've got replacement libraries. Now these replacement libraries are effectively manufacturer libraries, but within them the ScanLadder virtual cylinder. So that then within Exocad, if you use those to replace the manufacturer components to use ScanLadder with the manufacturer components, then you select the manufacturer, not ScanLadder, in Exocad. So that then the scan body that you refer to is the ScanLadder scan body within that manufacturer's library. It matches the cylinder. So if we're looking on this cylinder that's part of that scan body, it matches to that, but gives you the full list of the manufacturer components that you would normally use. So that then your ability to stay open, use whatever components you want, isn't limited whatsoever. And as you can see on the website, there is a massive list of these, hundreds. So with the different platforms, loads. And the key to that is if there's anything which isn't on there, I mean, there's a lot now, but if there is something unusual that you want that not many people use, all you need to do is send us that Exocad library to info@scanladder.com and we'll swap it up, pop it on the website, ready for you to download, usually within minutes, if not a day, sometimes a couple of days, depending on the team's availability, but otherwise very quickly back on the platform so that it doesn't hold up any lab cases or anything that you're doing for those cases. So overall, the screws, you're open. You can use direct to multi-units, you can use components from any manufacturer. And the beautiful thing is it's open for you guys, so that whether you're a dentist, as a clinician, if you're a lab technician, you can use what you want when you want and you aren't tied. And the beautiful thing about the scan bodies, they're solid titanium. So the fit's there, the accuracy is there. We know that now, that's not really arguable. So we've got the accuracy, we've got the fit. Those screws can be replaced, so you're not spending thousands every time a couple of them go loose. We all want to be able to save our pennies, but also make sure that keep things accurate, screwed down really nicely, and have the ability to stay open. So that little video tutorial helps you understand what the choices are with the libraries, how you use them, and we'll talk about some other features on future videos. So keep watching and we'll see you then.